launch and you're not sure where the next month's revenue is going to come from, and you're kind of always feeling like you have to hustle, I want to show you a way where you can basically create one simple webinar that will allow you to sell your product and services 24/7. And that really is the intention behind why EasyWebinar was built. You see, EasyWebinar, and I'm the founder of EasyWebinar. My name is Casey Zeman, for those who don't know. Hello, welcome. One of the things the reason that EasyWebinar was built in the first place is, actually, hold on 1 second. Now, can everybody hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. And yes, okay, cool. So Drew said, is there going to be a Q&A? Yes, there is going to be a Q&A. Absolutely. In fact, you guys can come in here and talk to me right now. If you are coming in, I see some more people coming in. Scott, Alex, Christine, Corey, Roger, Ty, Leslie, Drew, Jennifer, Kimberly, come on in, you guys. You can say hi and chat. Hi. What's going on? Yes, we'll be, and yes, there will be, you can ask away now. The whole idea behind this is I'm inviting you guys in. How are the kids? The kids are good. Everybody's at school and or at the park with the nanny right now. But as I was saying, one of the things I'm really excited about. So first off, while I'm here, guys, go ahead and tell me where you're coming in from in the world and what your business is, just so I know, okay? And do we have EasyWebinar people in the house, or is it non-EasyWebinar peeps? I'd love to find out. So the reason we built EasyWebinar in the first place was to create a platform that would communicate a message in a better way, that would communicate an experience in a better way, right? And, there's a lot of talk about sales funnels nowadays, right? And that's the thing, is that, I even think sales funnels have began to kind of take on a new meaning. Like, we've gotten so used to sales funnels and what they are that people don't want a sales page anymore. They don't want a sales funnel. They kind of want a sales experience, or an experience in general. And that's what EasyWebinar is really all about, from webinar to also creating, basically a sales funnel, but leveraging the power of webinars. So I see Alan from Los Angeles. Yes, I have EasyWebinar. Kimberly says, California beauty business. I have a beauty academy. Drew says, Indiana, non-EasyWebinar looking. San Diego, Corey says, non-EasyWebinar user as of now. Kimberly is wanting to automate it, create an online course. Scott says, has EasyWebinar. I'm not sure the best way to use it. Hugh says, hi from South Africa, farm business coach. Awesome, you guys. Welcome. Thank you for coming to this event. Some of you are EasyWebinar peeps. Dan Kennedy says, experience is now big. That's why 3-day events can be boring. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so we leverage the power of experiences. The EasyWebinar basically is a sales tool disguised as a webinar, right? Because it has all the pieces of what you'd see in a sales experience, right? But it has a heightened way to connect and engage with an audience through the power of live events, live workshops, live master classes. They are all the same thing, right? Live webinars or automated webinars. That helps you scale up. That gives you the element of live, right? Of the engagement factor that a webinar is. But then you can duplicate that experience over and over again. And that's how the majority of our people who are leveraging EasyWebinar in the most powerful way are generating, they're generating most of their most of their revenue through EasyWebinar. We have clients that are going, they're pushing 6 figures a month in sending traffic through their webinar funnels, basically, right? Okay, Drew is AKS Starbucks. You're at the Starbucks. It may become more important than content at an event. Yeah. Welcome, you guys. So I'm excited to share to do this with you guys. Again, welcome to all the new people: Latarsha, Blissful, Shauna, Hakan, Paul. all you people coming, everyone coming in, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm just so pumped to share this stuff with you. The very first thing I'm actually going to do is I want to share something that literally just came in just like last week, and I'm going to open a file. Let's see if this actually works. I haven't actually tried this yet, where I upload a PNG, but you should see my screen. Do you guys see it? Finally in. Phew. Yes, blissful. It's good to see you. This is from Andrew, who is, I think he's like head of sales or head of marketing at Teachable, right? And this is literally what they sent. So Teachable uses our system, right? And for those of you who want to know, who don't know what Teachable is a membership platform, and they have a lot of customers, like 30 to 60,000 customers using their system. And they use EasyWebinar as a tool to get more people coming in. This is what he wrote. We ran a promo the last few weeks to a couple of automated webinars and had about 7,000 registrations go through it. Everything went super smooth. Conversion rates, and this is really what I want you to look at. Conversion rates were some of the highest we've ever had, and we're loving it. And your team's been amazing. We also have a pretty high visibility, high visibility build a business competition. I'm sorry, I can't, it's like tongue twisted there. Competition kicking off in late May, and we'll be running most of those people through automated webinars built on EasyWebinar. And so this is just a part of an email that he sent to me. He was also inviting us to, because he's going to be running a lot of traffic through EasyWebinar. He wanted us to be a part of this build a business competition. But the point of this is that the point of what I want to share here is that these guys, as well as many other platforms, have tested out several different types of ways to engage and build an audience and close sales, right? And what we're seeing here is he's basically saying conversion rates were some of the highest we've ever had, and we're loving it. And there are many reasons as to why that is true. First off, the webinar experience in general gives them a higher sense of connectivity. The next thing is that EasyWebinar itself is probably one of the fastest in terms of server response. So when someone comes in and registers, they're immediately brought to a thank you page. From the thank you page, there are all these different cool options that allow you to basically get more people coming in the door and have a higher level of engagement, even on an automated webinar, from downloadable PDFs to questions that could be asked, all sorts of stuff. So those are just some of the things. And I wanted to start with this because this is something that literally came in just this last couple of weeks. Does EasyWebinar allow chat only to the host so attendees cannot see? Drew, that's a great question. EasyWebinar allows chat to the host. So yes, that's how you're seeing it right now. Right now we have the private chat on, as you can see, right? You probably can see that we have private chat on right now. So I got your response. I got Kimberly's. I've got everyone's, but you don't see anyone else on here, right? And that's kind of how it works. Yeah. So I can see, yes. And that's the reason we do that, is just in case we get someone who is blowing up the chat with, profanity or, just real negative stuff, that this private chat is really helpful for that. Yes, we can boot anybody off of a webinar, but at the same time, I think it's powerful to do it. What I want to do, guys, is I'm going to send you a worksheet. I'm going to broadcast this through EasyWebinar right now. You should be able to see it. It's popped right in. That worksheet is what we could go through today. And if you haven't, if you didn't get it in the follow-ups, you feel free to dive in and jump on it now. Again, how many people do we have here that are non-EasyWebinar customers? Just let me know. I read that 805 on all content will be video soon. I'm not sure what that is. I read that 805 OD, all online, 80% of online content will be video soon. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yes, 80% of all content will be video soon. That's 100% true. And that's why we are a tool that is a sales tool, a fulfillment tool that is based on engagement and automation. And so what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go in and share share a basically I think it's right here, share a slide presentation all about how to sell your products, services, and coaching 24/7, leveraging one simple webinar. If you see this, just let me know. I just want to make sure that you can see my slides. Just put in the chat, a thumbs up or a hey-o. You could go do like this, thumbs up type of deal. Thank you, Kimberly, Michael. Yes, awesome, you guys. Drew, thank you so much. Yep, I can see it. William, thank you, thank you, thank you. Got it. Corey, beautiful, beautiful. And you should still see me, whether I'm underneath for the recording, just as an FYI. Automatically, I am recording this. What happens is that thumbnail of me at the bottom, it goes in the corner, upper corner, because then the recording is going to be a 16:9, right? So yeah, so just as an FYI, the recording is actually still going to have my camera on too. All right, yes, I'm still in the corner there. All right, so let's dive in and talk about this. I want to teach you guys the thing that some of our clients are doing to leverage to sell $20,000 a month, $20,000 a day. Some of our clients, and in fact, we just had I was just on the phone with one of our other customers, Kim Constable. Okay. Kim is the founder of the Sculpted Vegan, and she's been using EasyWebinar, and I have the webinar lab that's coming out, by the way, very soon here. It's a reboot of our podcast that we had a while back, but she is one of the people we've interviewed. She has done in the last 13 months about 1.5 or 1.6 million using EasyWebinar. And the reason I want to flag her up is because some days she is selling her course and she's doing anywhere from $3,000 a day to $20,000 a day. Okay. So we have some clients that are doing that. Amy Porterfield is another one who uses our system. How much for her course? She has a couple of them. I think for hers, I think they're like $1,000 or probably $97 a month for 12 months. Very much similar to what, if you know Amy Porterfield, who is a course creator, most of her programs are also $1,000. Now, based on that, this presentation I'm going to share with you, I am very biased towards I'm very biased with high ticket sales. I feel very strongly for high ticket programs and products, right? Mid ticket is 1 to 2,000, but I love high ticket, which is 3,000 to 10,000, 20,000. Okay. And we have clients that are using EasyWebinar to do those numbers as well. Yes, you can make money with low price tickets. We have clients that are doing that as well. We have a client, Stacy, who sells a $200 or $300 product, who's doing $12,000 to $15,000 a month selling an rid yourself of acne program. We have, again, yes, there are so many people that make money with low ticket as well. The idea behind low ticket is that it has to pay for your ad spend if you're going to run anything through like paid ads, right? That's really what you want to think about. Can this be used as an educational sales tool for solar? High ticket? Yes, of course. That's the power of webinars, is that they are an education-based tool, right? And on the back end, absolutely. Did you know that our coaching program is using EasyWebinar? Our coaching program is part member portal and part weekly webinars. And we use EasyWebinar as the fulfillment tool for the coaching. And so do many of our clients and customers. So just realize that webinars are not just for acquisition. They are for retention. They keep people there. This software can keep your clients on board, right? We have people that use EasyWebinar to onboard their clients, such as Optimize Press. You know who else uses EasyWebinar to onboard their clients? Let me just go in and show you. ConvertKit. You guys know the company ConvertKit? They use EasyWebinar. After someone becomes a client of EasyWebinar or of ConvertKit, there are follow-up emails, and there are ways to access their workshops, and their workshops, learn the basics, go straight to an EasyWebinar automated webinar that they built using EasyWebinar for basically retention, right? Keeping customers happy, teaching them, but teaching them on scale, right? Because now you don't have to be there. Now, you could do live webinars for your people after they become clients, and we have people that do that as well. But you can also, as I said, create a series of automated webinars for your people once they become members. And the power of that is you get more people that are sticking around, and you get more people that are having results. And results are the biggest thing that I want to share with you here. Results. That's the goal. And that's where webinars have a higher level of engagement and a higher level of getting results because of how you're teaching. People don't want just to go in and buy a course. They want an experience. And so if you can combine a course program with webinars as well, that's the secret sauce. That's what our coaching program is all about. We teach people how to use webinars to retain clients. And then after that, after becoming a client, we show them how to use webinars in the way of having, revamping, let's say, a course and create more of a program, an experiential program that leverages webinars and a membership site, such as Teachable or Thinkific. There was a question about which do I prefer. I've used only Teachable, so I don't know Thinkific. I also have my membership is using Membarium and WordPress. So that's what I use for my particular membership. EasyWebinar is a SaaS system. It's not built upon, of course, a membership portal, right? Sakai, thank you for the thumbs up. And Drew, I hope that answered your question. Big backend, yep. So Corey, and I hope I answered your question about solar systems and or using this to sell for high ticket. Do people use EasyWebinar with LearnDash? You can use LearnDash with Membarium, and yes, there are ways that we're going to be doing some integration with Membarium, I think. I've been requested by Teachable, Thinkific as well, but I also had a meeting with the founder of Membarium when I met with EasyWebinar. I met with EasyWebinar 1%ers at the end of an event called Traffic and Conversion in San Diego. And in that room, they shared with me the results that they're receiving with EasyWebinar, which was like, some of them are running 60,000 leads a month through our system, and some are doing 300,000 leads basically in a short period of time, such as Jay Shetty. This room just gave us real clear insight into the direction of what we need to add to make the webinar experiences even better. And Membarium was there. The founder, I think his name is Corey. Anyway, we talked, and we're talking about an integration. What are your price points for coaching programs? Well, what we do is we have basically one coaching program. We have an opportunity at the end of this workshop, by the way. So if you're a non-EasyWebinar customer, right now I have a really amazing opportunity where I'm going to be including a program that typically sells for like $2,000. But we have one other program that is specifically teaching you how to sell and package a high ticket program using the power of webinars and EasyWebinar. That is a different program. It is not a mastermind program. We've had a mastermind program at one point 2 years ago. Right now, we do not have that one, but this one is kind of a version of a mastermind program. It's called the 6-week fast track program. And if you're interested in that, I could definitely get you a link. You'd have to watch a webinar and then sign up for a strategy call with someone from my team. But the whole idea is after 6 weeks, you have a webinar up and running that is collecting leads, and you're getting high ticket people coming in the door. That's the goal. Okay, sure. Yeah, here. This is the link to the webinar. Kimberly asked for it just now. So it's through my name, webinar consultants. This should be it. Click on that, and it should take you to a webinar. Let me know if it does. It should also take you out of this webinar. Will this webinar be available for a replay later? This specific one, Yes, I think so. Although there is a different one in our replay page at the moment. So as soon as this webinar is over, an automatic email will send out a different already existing webinar that I already ran. So I'm not sure if it will actually, you'll be getting this specific one, but you will be getting one. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce back in. And by the way, guys, all this stuff I'm showing you right now, I'm using the EasyWebinar uploader. So these are PNGs and images that I've uploaded through EasyWebinar, as well as our slides. And so now I'm going to go back over to the slide, upload that again. Boom, and I'm back in. Gotcha. All right, so let's dive in and talk about this, okay? How would it feel to have consistent leads and customers every day on demand with predictability? And the reason I ask that is because that's exactly what we do. Unless you have a reliable, duplicatable, scalable, and consistent way to bring in customers, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. I didn't say it. Mike Cuban. Yeah, we're on such close basis that I call him Mike. Mark Cuban has said that. And this is if you're someone who sells products, courses, consulting, services, and you're looking for a predictable and consistent way to generate revenue, then you're in the right place. Okay. And I love asking this question. If you went on vacation today, can you honestly say that it wouldn't create more stress than enjoyment? All right. I know it's worded weird, but if you were sitting on the beach with your whole family, you guys are ordering Mai Tais, the kids are drinking, 13 Shirley Temples, 20 burgers, and you see the bill racking up and racking up and racking up, would that make you more stressed than at ease? Like, what I'm saying is your business dependent on you being there, right? Are you trading time for money? Are you having to go on vacation and still work? Because if you didn't, the business would literally fall apart. So my intention, so go ahead and put this down. Let me know. I'd like to know, actually, guys, please. No one has actually said, is this you yet? No one. Okay. So I see Drew. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes. Thank you for putting it out there. Yeah. And this was me, by the way. And I thought it was so cool that I could work over holidays. When I would go on vacation at Cabo, I'd be working, and I thought, yeah, that's awesome. But having kids, now that I have like 3 kids, I wouldn't have time to work on vacation. And so I needed a way to figure out how I could go on vacation for 5 to 6 weeks without my business falling apart and breaking, right? William said, I cannot take a relaxing vacation. Kimberly is saying that. That's a job, not a business. That's right. That's exactly right. And the thing is that this is what my goal is for any client, any customer coming into EasyWebinar. This is what my goal is for you. And this is what my goal is for you on this webinar. I want to also show you, I'm going to highlight a couple things. I'm going to show you how to get to $12,000 a month leveraging webinars, okay, for live webinars, but I'm also going to show you how to scale up from there leveraging automated webinars. And because this is my goal. Over the summer, my wife and I are going to be taking my wife and our 3 kids are going to be taking about 5 weeks off. And we can't do that unless I have a system in place. And a business needs a system, as Mark Cuban just said, right? So does this sound like you? Do you have some months where cash just pours in, but you can't seem to maintain it? Or do you start out every month wondering where the clients and sales are coming from? Or do you secretly know your worth is more than what you're charging, but you're afraid if you raise your prices, no one's going to pay them? You ever felt that? Any of these ring true for you? Let me know. Also, do you see other people in your business making the kind of income you want and you just have no idea how they're doing it? Or are you working way too hard in your business, maybe too many hours, burning yourself out? And I see this all the time. Or maybe you feel like technology or online marketing is the enemy and not an asset, right? And this kind of goes back to burning yourself out. If you have 20 new clients coming in a month, would that break your business, right? Like if you're working one-on-one with people, and this is going back into a bit more strategy stuff, because this goes into like, my coaching teaches you how to do this, how to scale up so you could add 20, 30, 60, 100 new clients, and it's not going to take more of your time. Just add more revenue in and you get more the same results for the people that are coming in. But the idea is that if any of this sounds like you, I understand, I was there. we leverage technology now to do stuff like this. Technology, here's the thing, technology is always going to have a problem where something may occur, right? Like any business, you know, technology may shut off. I remember using GoToWebinar for many years and having issues every so often. Zoom has issues. Anything can cause a problem, but that's when you look at it as the enemy instead of the asset, because no matter how many times I've failed on a webinar, I've still generated revenue from a webinar. Okay, and that's really something I want you to understand. Okay, so I'm going to show you how how you can solve these problems, because maybe you feel like no matter how hard you try, you can't break through that glass ceiling in your business. William says too many hours. Kimberly says have in the past, but not anymore. That's awesome, Kimberly. Awesome. Um, and here's the solution that we all basically need. We need a sales funnel. And I know I talked about this earlier, but not just any sales funnel, because in fact, sales funnels are everybody knows what they are now. And even those typical sales funnels, people are getting desensitized by them. And they don't necessarily engage to the top that they need to. Like, they don't engage as much as they need to. You need a sales funnel that can sell your courses, programs, and services every day with authenticity and engagement. That's the key here. Authenticity and engagement that can rise above your competition. I make good money, but work way too many hours. Kimberly, I hear you. I think we have two Kimberlys on here. Kimberly with an L-Y, Kimberly with an L-E on here. So welcome, you guys. And so that's really what we're talking about. I'm going to share with you why webinars are the perfect way to rise above the noise with your with your competition in an authentic way while working less and selling more. I'm going to show you how to generate the first 12K a month from basically like 4 hours a month. That is literally 1 hour a week, leveraging one webinar, and how to use EasyWebinar to 4x your webinar revenue using what I call the event launch blueprint. Now, there's a way that you can do a promo with a webinar where you're not just running a live webinar and making X sales, but how to run a live webinar, then how to do an encore presentation, then how to do a replay, and how to package all that together. That's what I call my event launch blueprint. I'm going to share that flow with you. And then how to finally scale up from there, tapping into consistent passive income, where we talk about selling your products and services 24/7 using EasyWebinar's funnel automation technology, i.e. evergreen webinars. How many of you know what evergreen webinars? Put in the chat. Put in on the right side of the page here. If you do, yes, awesome. You do. I have the hands up. Coolio, Schoolio. Cool. Yeah, Kimberly says yes. Blissful, William, Corey, awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. Scott says yes. Cool. And I'm super pumped. How many of you have actually generated revenue from webinars? Okay. Blissful says, I love them. You are welcome. How many of you have generate revenue from webinars? Let me know in the chat over here. And while you're saying that, I'm going to tell you who I am for those who still are not clear. I'm the founder of EasyWebinar, a top engagement and webinar automation specialist, I guess you'd say. I kind of coined that myself because I love engagement and automation. It's just, I started off as an actor, and so I love just the connectivity with people. But at the same time, I wanted something that would help me scale up my business in the best and most effective way that I could connect and engage, but not always having to be there, right? On average, our top clients are generating 10 to 20 a day. And our software has over 8,000 customers. And I guess if you ask what my superpower was, it's providing sales and scalability systems to business owners so they can work less, create more impact, and make way more money. That's kind of what I like to do. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher at heart. That's really what I love doing. That's where I find that's where I just feel so a part of it, so attuned, so active, right? And it's just funny that I'm kind of behind, a SaaS platform. I don't do as much of the teaching, but that's why I love doing these webinars every so often. Okay. And some of you guys are saying, I haven't generated revenue yet. Good. And the reason I'm saying good is because I'm going to share with you a strategy for doing it. Cool. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I started off as an actor. Founded EasyWebinar in 2013, built a 7-figure software and consulting company, been featured in Business Insider, Entrepreneur, Social Media Examiner, and more. Um, and I've personally created every kind of sales funnel around. Okay, I just breeze through my breeze through my about me, because I really want to just get to this point. And by the way, Scott's saying, getting ready to launch a hospitality management app with online training center through Kajabi for training the user in the hotels purchasing our product. I believe that webinars and evergreen webinars are not used in the hospitality industry much, so they could be a fresh approach to marketing our launch. You have tapped into the secret sauce, Scott. Here's the thing. Outside of the online marketing space, most companies, there are so many opportunities around evergreen webinars in niches that aren't yet leveraging them as much. And especially in Fortune 500 companies, various other industries, this is the holy grail. You've stumbled upon something here. Yes, 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 yes. The cool thing about EasyWebinar's technology is that our system streams in real time. An automated webinar streams in real time. If they come late, they're still streaming. If they're watching from their phone, they can't fast forward or rewind. It is streamed in real time, but is a pre-recorded event, right? But that is the beauty of it, that it has the experience, the full-on experience of live, because in fact, it is live. It is just streamed live. Not you there, but streamed live. Is there a list of industries that you will provide for the usage? Kimberly, any industry you can think of, but I will come in and show you how webinars can be used in different industries. We have people that are using EasyWebinar in the real estate niche. Financial advisors are using it. Course creators, of course, are using them. Coaches and consultants, that's a big one, of course. But going into different ways. We had I had one of the heads of Adobe reach out because they wanted to potentially use EasyWebinar's automation technology to sell their stuff, right? And so you just realize that this is something that a lot of people aren't so clear on yet. Like it's not a obvious thing that's out there right now. And because it's not obvious, there's a huge opportunity to put these type of experience funnels in front of your audience and get amazing results. Remember, teachable. What did I show? They had the best conversion they've seen by using our system. Is there someone who can help me set it up? I purchased years ago, ran 1 or 2 webinars, but forgot all the steps I took back in the day. Michael, yes, why don't you just reach out? We should probably see what package you have, but reach out at support@easywebinar.com. Drew is saying, is it better to do it done for you for businesses or teach high ticket to coaching students? Drew, that's a great question, but I think it's up to you. I have a bias around that. I think it's better to do more like a group coaching experience or productizing your services to some degree. Productizing your services to some degree, raising your prices will help you to basically scale up, right? So I believe that both are acceptable, but you have to have a plan for the done for you. You have to have a model, you have to have, things ready. But the coaching, the high ticket coaching, you can do at any point. Okay, I digress. I've created every kind of sales funnel there is, and here they are. This is basically this is everything I've built in the past leveraging webinars, or leveraging sales funnels, right? From evergreen sales funnels to non-evergreen. And feel free to take a screenshot of this page, okay? So click away, click away, click away. So here on the left column is traffic and advertisement. Here in the middle is all content that drives to lead magnets, mini courses, contests, or webinars. And then finally, my offering is on the right side, right? From courses, memberships, other products, coaching and consulting, and even services. We've done all of this, right? I even show what we do in terms of the breakdown of percentage where we spend our time and money, and so on. So did you get a screenshot of that? Just let me know, put a thumbs up, or say yes, sir, or good to go, or any of the above, that would be great. So yes, I have yeses coming across. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, it's in the workbook too. That's right, Alan. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, it's in the workbook. And if you're filled out the workbook, you guys fill out the workbook, because the workbook has little blank areas that you're going to have to type in. And don't worry, it's an editable PDF. It's an editable PDF, so you can add this stuff to it. I made it pretty easy that way. We had it. We used to give you PDF, and you'd have to download it on your printer and like print it up and fill it in. Nah, we don't do that anymore. So here we go. But let me show you what I like to focus on. Let's strip away everything else. And here are my favorite funnels, because I've tested everything out. I've tested out the model where you have a 5-day challenge. You have the mini course. I've tested all of these out, and I have to say that the things that have performed the best for me and the customers and clients we have are these two, right? And if you're just starting out, focusing on these two are going to give you the most powerful results, right? Facebook or Instagram ads. This is my favorite way to generate traffic, basically. Send them to a live webinar or automated webinar using EasyWebinar, and you sell your courses, your programs, your coaching, your services. Bam. That's it right there. This is the model. Okay. This is the model. And you can sell multiple products, create multiple webinars, and this can be how you sell online. Okay. Again, the top clients of ours are saying, I would never choose anything but webinars. Webinars have been the one thing that I've been successful with. So it's about one thing. My goal is to provide you the resources, the training, the knowledge to use this one thing in the most effective way possible. That is my mission. So with that being told, what are webinars for? Because this is something that Kimberly, I believe you asked for. Let me just highlight how you can use webinars in business. Lead generation and list building. My first year of being online in 2012, I built an email list of 14,000 people using webinars, and I generated about $250,000. But the year prior to that, I made about $15,000. Okay, so my first year of finally selling a course online, webinars were the only thing that worked, and I sucked at webinars when I started out. Okay, I was terrible at it. So just don't worry about how bad you are. It does not matter. Okay. I know a guy doing 1 million per month, doing live only. He pre-sells in advance. Can't do that with just-in-time webinars. Right, Drew. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. You could do that with just-in-time. You could do that with just-in-time webinars. You just have to have a lot of traffic going through it. But here's the problem I see. Well, actually, you know what? I didn't go through enough of these. So selling your online courses, qualifying your customers. It's all of this is in your workbook as well. Selling your physical products, selling affiliate products, running virtual open houses, selling physical conferences, running virtual summits, running online classes, running online weekly free classes for list building, building know, like, and trust, and authority around education-based marketing. Did you get all this, guys? I just want to make sure you got this, because I'm going to keep on going, right? Now, with all that said, there's a divide between deciding to do webinars and actually doing them. That's the problem I've noticed. Because here's what we see. We see big name people doing webinars and it seems intimidating. Or I don't think webinars will work in my industry. I hear that an awful lot. Or I get overwhelmed with all the tech, so I never start. Or I don't want to look like an idiot or say the wrong things on a webinar. I have a fear of trying and failing. What if I don't make any sales from it? I don't have time to do a live webinar. I've heard all of these before. And I have a high ticket program. Yes. Do we offer high ticket affiliate offers? You mean, do I allow my affiliates to promote my coaching program? That's not something we do as of yet. No. But you can reach out and ask if you have questions. For me, yes. I do have a program. Yes. Go through that webinar link above and you can get on a strategy call to figure out if we're a good fit for my coaching, which is me coaching you personally. If you had your ear to the grindstone, then you've heard every story as to why you won't succeed with a webinar. I really want this to sink in. You've heard that probably to profit with webinars, you need to be a neuro-linguistic expert or have public speaking experience. How many of you guys ever heard that? You've heard that you have to be a tech ninja to run them, and oftentimes doing a bad webinar can tarnish your reputation forever. And you know what? The simple truth, gang, is that these stories are all hogwash. They are complete and utter bull. Because here's the thing, when I started doing webinars, I was terrible at it. But even in my first webinar that was selling my course and program, I sold $2,000 worth of my $200 program. And I remember it very well. It was in the back farmhouse of my wife's parents' farmhouse, basically in Iowa. It was the dead of winter, and I was running a webinar. I just happened to be needing to run a webinar while I was on vacation because I needed money. So I ran a live webinar. The internet was cutting out. I was using, a busted up PC, onboard microphone from the PC, only one screen, and I was going from one to the next. I was like on my presentation, and I'm a classic overshare. So I overshare, I want to give so much value. So I overshared basically the presentation, showed a flow, was not transitioning fast. I had a lot of ums and ahs. All said and done, though, with all of that and the heater blaring in the background, super loud, I sold $2,000 worth of sales. And the reason I was able to do that is because inherently there are only two things you need to succeed with webinars. I want to break down. I want to remove all the other factors and just focus on two things: sincerity and value. If you are sincere, if you are authentic and get in front of your audience and you provide value to that audience, even if you're an overshare, or maybe you're a classic stutterer, or maybe you are, kind of a goofball, what have you, your own personality, A, needs to come out, and B, you have to provide value and show how you solve the problem for them. And if you don't do it from a slide presentation, totally fine. If you do it, if it's just you in front of the camera, totally cool. There are too many structured, what they call sort of, the perfect webinars out there that I've had people come to me and say, I've tried it and it didn't work. I did not make money from it, and I didn't resonate with it, and my audience could tell. And that can happen so often. People are sick of too salesy, too fluffy, too manipulative. They just want authenticity, and they want to see that you have a true desire to help people. And if you do, then you don't have to, have a magic show of marketing pulled out of a friggin' hat, okay? Just show what you have, make a really amazing offer, and get people in your funnel and community and help them get results. That's all it really takes. In fact, we had Jody who came to me at one point with this same problem. She was like, I learned a system for creating webinars from a quote unquote guru, and I tried it and it just bombed. And I said, all right, here's what you do. Here's the 6-step framework. And guys, I'm going to share something soon with you guys here. There's a 6-step framework that you can use for running a webinar, but you don't always have to have it in your presentation. It's not slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. It doesn't slide 3. It doesn't have to be like that. It's about connectivity, right? It's about resonating and connection. Okay. There's two things that are needed in sales: to resonate with someone on a heart level and a logic level as well. Heart is you sharing your story and connecting with them, but how your story relates to them. And then on the logic level, it's all about the people doing webinars and things like that. Is anyone doing webinars with Facebook Live? Drew, with our system, you can actually take this. I could take this same webinar that we're running right now with you guys, all the participants here in the room, and I can broadcast it directly into Facebook right now. And everybody can be on Facebook could be seeing what I'm saying. And then I can encourage them to come into this event. So yes, you could actually do Facebook Live using EasyWebinar, or even YouTube Live, or both at the same time using our EasyWebinar cast. It's our live cast that syndicates this same broadcast into Facebook and YouTube at the same time or individually. So So it's very cool stuff. Anyway, let's keep going, okay? So now I want to show you, YouTube is very consistent. I mean, yes, you can, if you have an audience in YouTube, Drew just said, is YouTube consistent? Yes, if you have an audience in YouTube, you can push into YouTube. If you have an audience in Facebook, with our EasyCast tool, you can push into a Facebook group, your business page, your personal page as well. Versus EasyWebinar platform. EasyWebinar is going to give you a better experience because you can have up to 4 presenters. You can share your screen. You can share a video, and it will save all that and push it into YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But let me show you how to get the fastest way to get to 12K a month leveraging one webinar ran once a week. Then why use YouTube? Oh, are you talking about, Drew? With EasyWebinar, we have the ability to stream, to host with YouTube. That's still something. So if, let's say you want to run a webinar with 10,000 people, right? With EasyWebinar, you can have 10,000 people on a live webinar and use YouTube, the YouTube live hosted video inside of EasyWebinar, and then still use all of EasyWebinar's chat, live chat, push offers, and things like that. So that we give you, the YouTube live integration that we have is for unlimited users. So technically, or unlimited attendees. So technically, if you had a massive webinar, that's the use case for it. Otherwise, I just stick with our own system. So it's more for volume. Exactly. Yeah. If you're going to have a lot of people, it's for volume. Or if you have an audience in YouTube and you feel like you want to use that technology, you can do it as well. Or here's the other use case for YouTube. With YouTube Live, you can have multiple cameras set up through YouTube Live. And so maybe you're streaming a conference. Like I've actually used our YouTube Live integration to live stream a 4-hour masterclass that was where I had 20 people here in my office and then 150 people online watching, right? And so we used YouTube Live with EasyWebinar. So everything was through EasyWebinar. You came to the EasyWebinar page, but just imagine inside of here, instead of our live engine video here, it's basically a YouTube video. You can't tell the difference, right? But you could have multiple cameras. You could use one of those encoders type of thing. I see some people show a camera above their desk as a whiteboard. Is that how they do it? You can do that any which way. Absolutely. With EasyWebinar's live engine, which we're using, you can use a 4K camera though, just as an FYI. You can use a high def 4K camera, and you can have multiple people coming in. We just don't give you like 2 camera options as the presenter, right? It's not like I have 2 cameras set up where I can go camera A, camera B. With YouTube Live and EasyWebinar, you can. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So it's for volume, and it's for if you're going to do like a bigger production, basically. Yeah. Scott Fisher says, for high-end client potentially buying large subscription products, is there an ability to bring in the customer via voice rather than chat only, and then record them to provide content for? Yes, for evergreen webinars. So Scott, you can use EasyWebinar as a meeting room. You can have your camera on or off, and it could just be you and somebody else. We use EasyWebinar for conferences, for meetings, right? And we just send the invite link. You can go live right away, send an invite link to an attendee, turn that attendee immediately into a presenter, and that presenter would come into the room. They could have their camera off, and you can record the whole thing and then use that as an evergreen webinar later on. All of the webinars that are run through EasyWebinar, all live webinars, can be turned into all automated webinars. So this is being recorded right now. I could use this session later for an evergreen webinar, basically. And it's as easy as a click of a button to push that in. Yep, you just add the presenter. That's exactly right. So let me quickly show you this. Here is my suggestion for generating $12,000 a month using live webinars. First off, charge a minimum of $1,000 for your course, program, coaching, etc., etc. Okay, a minimum of $1,000. All right. Yes, some people have $300, $500, but my goal for you is to get this going faster, as fast as possible. For me, I needed this. Okay. I needed to charge at least $1,000 for my program when I was first starting out. And I'll tell you why. I was only able to get 30 people on a live webinar every single week. Okay. And because of that, I couldn't sell a $100 program because I wouldn't make enough money. So it was out of need that I did it. I just had to change the offer and the value. And what I noticed is as soon as I increased my price for my program, I had better quality customers. So, and then I also looked at what I was doing and said, you know what? I'm having people have amazing results using what I'm teaching here all around YouTube. I was a YouTube consultant basically, and I helped companies like generate massive amounts of leads using YouTube. And I was, had this scarcity mentality, service mentality. I couldn't take those. They take those same testimonials and apply it to my own program. I had a lot of blocks, money blocks, basically, right? Money mindset blocks. And once I understood that I need a price based on results, I realized that my pricing at $1,000 was worth it, and people validated that all the time. The quality of customers became way better, and I see this done wrong so often. Many people undervalue what they're charged because they're thinking of one or two things: either they devalue their own services and business, or they can't imagine that someone will pay them the prices that they want. Because pricing isn't based on your time; it should not be based on your time. And if it is, I want you to start to change that mindset right now. Okay. Here's the next thing. Get a minimum of 30 people showing up to your webinar per week. How many of you feel like you could get 30 people showing up to a live webinar per week? Okay. You'd need about, let's say, 60 people registered, right? 30 people show up. Okay. Yeah. How many of you feel like you could do that? Whether you have an email list or other means. Let me know. And because this is how I started off, because I could not get 100, 200, 300 people on a webinar. All right. I had a small email list. I had a small audience. This allowed me to get those numbers. I was able to do this every single week. Okay. And if you're not sure, let me show you how. Okay. First, find joint venture partners. And here's an interesting thing. You can find people who are in vertical or similar niches to you who will promote you to their existing community, or join, let's say, a Facebook group or LinkedIn group or other places where you might find people who need your product and services. Search for fan pages. Look for activity where the fan page owners aren't doing any promotion or aren't sending their communities to a website. And that person might want to promote you, right? If your stuff resonates with their audience. This is how I started off. Everything I did was through joint venture partnerships. That was the only way I was ever able to generate revenue, right? That's how I started. And then I stepped back and only did paid ads. And now we're going back into, partnerships and stuff like that. Your existing email list. Now, if you don't have one, totally understandable. But if you already have an existing email list, that's where you want to start. Or if you have an audience in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Plus, I need to take that out of there, of course. But if you have audiences in these places, that's where you can also promote your webinars, right? But like LinkedIn groups are a great way to do it. A free workshop or webinar, I think a lot of us don't put enough time into networking and trying to build relationships and saying, hey, I have this awesome webinar. I'd love to, if you would share it. And even just simply by sharing it in those platforms, you might be able to get 60 people showing up to your webinar on a weekly or registered at least for a weekly basis. Now, if that doesn't work, there's always paid ads, right? So if you think about it, I don't have my calculator in front of me, but guys, what's 50 times, what is 5 times 60? That's pretty, I should know that right off the bat. 300. Okay. Thank you. All right. So 300. Thank you. God, man. Okay. So $300 is what it probably would cost to get $300 to $600 of what it would cost to get that many people showing up to your webinar on a weekly basis. Okay. Now, if you are selling, and I'm going to, the big reveal is how much you're going to sell. That's 30 people. Okay. It's going to cost $300 to $600 to get 30 to 60 people showing up on your webinar per week. Okay. That's because you have a lead cost of anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000, or $5 and $10. Okay. Now, some people have $2 cost per lead. Some have $11 cost per lead. But right, I'm kind of trying to make it kind of high, $5 to $10 cost per lead, because I want to be real super conservative on this. Okay. So that's, if you spend that, yeah. So Drew's saying $5 max. That's kind of high going into 10. You're right. It's going to high going into 10. But here's the cool thing about that. So you do that, right? And okay, I'm going to do the reveal of what you're going to charge and how much you're going to make. Okay, after I show you this. So first off, paid ads, spend $300 to $600. You get 60 people registered for your webinar on a weekly basis, right? That's that. Another cool way of getting people to show up to your webinar is using our EasyCast platform. And remember, I told you what this does. With EasyCast, you can stream your webinar to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, post directly into those platforms, and then incentivize the people watching from Facebook to come into the webinar room. Like, I can say to people, hey, I could push this right now to Facebook and say, listen, guys, I'm running this webinar. If it's something you're interested in, I'm only sharing the good stuff on the webinar. So you kind of do the beginning of the webinar pushed into Facebook. You get people kind of excited about it. And then you say, listen, I'm going to turn off the stream into Facebook, but we're still in the live room chatting, having a roarous time. If you want to come in, here's the link. And you can build your email list that way. Isn't that cool? And this is kind of what it looks like when you do it. You publish it to Facebook or YouTube or both, and then it pushes into YouTube or Facebook right here. This is what it would look like right into Facebook. And this is another way to get people onto your a webinar. So, and here is the solution here. Convert 10% of those who show up as convert 10 of them into being customers and clients. That means you're generating $3,000 a week. Okay. And if you're spending 300, or even 600, you're making profit. You see that? You're making profit. And that might be what you spend. And so now you're selling $1,000 for your course, right? You're getting 3 people out of 30 people signed up, because that can be done in a webinar. Even a bad webinar, you could really do 10%. Okay. And that's the goal here. That is the goal. 10% will always buy, 10% will never buy, is what Drew's saying. Thank you, Drew, so much for saying that. And here's the other solution as well, right? Now, if you want to increase that from 10%, here's what else you could do. It's called the Event Launch Blueprint, and this is what is so powerful with EasyWebinar. You could double, triple, quadruple your sales, no matter how small of a community you have, and here's how. So typically, and this is inside your workbook, so you fill this in. Here are the first steps to getting more sales off of your webinar promotion. First off, you do a live webinar. Now, some of you guys might be saying, well, I want to know how do I frame a webinar, create a webinar? Well, at the end of this, I have a bonus where I'm going to teach you 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar. Okay. But before I do that, I want to show you how you can leverage the Event Launch Blueprint, for getting even more conversion. So first, do a live webinar, right? Specific day, boom, you make sales. Now, the middle of this, the rebroadcast that I have here in step 2, most people don't do. And that's how you lose a lot of sales. I actually have clients that only made money on live webinars, never made money on replays, or never made money because they never ran a rebroadcast. But when I've had some clients that have added these steps in, rebroadcast, and they've increased their sales by double or triple. Okay. So run a rebroadcast of that same event. Okay. And with EasyWebinar, the cool thing is that you can take any live webinar, turn it into an automated webinar that you stream, say, the next day, 2 or 3 times a day. Okay. And that's the power of EasyWebinar. You can turn a live webinar easily into an automated webinar that you stream out, like, say, 3 times a day the next day. The other thing that EasyWebinar has is we have built-in replay pages that can have scarcity. So that's the other thing, is that you can set up a limited time replay, let's say that expires in 3 days, and that the offer and the replay will expire. And when you do this, oftentimes when you have scarcity on the replay, you're going to close basically the same amount that you closed from your live event and your rebroadcast. So you should be able to literally quadruple your sales off of this event launch blueprint. And the powerful thing is that EasyWebinar has this built in. We created it for this reason, right? Drew is saying, my friend who does 1 million per month does 2 p.m., 9 p.m., same day, then sends replays for 3 days, right? Exactly. So you run a live webinar, and then you run the rebroadcast. It could be you. The rebroadcast could be the next day. It could be multiple times for the next day, or it can be and all pre-done. So it's like taking this same event and me streaming it the next day 3 times a day, 3 times for that next day, right? That is the power of it. Yeah, that is the power of it. Very cool. Very cool. Now, is it possible to build an entire scalable business using webinars as a sales system? What do you guys think? Based on what I've been sharing, what do you feel it's possible? If the answer is yes, put a thumbs up or a hey-o or I got a hell yes from Drew. Thank you, man. So this is where I want to go into the 4th step. I'm going to go and lean into the 4th step into how you can scale up. So with webinars, for me, I told you, built up 14,000 email lists with my first year. Make a comfortable 7 figures online every year. And with live webinars, here's the deal. You're still held to your own bandwidth, right? Held to your own bandwidth with live webinars. Still have to show up running live webinars, albeit once a week, potentially, right? But still you have to be there, show up. So what can you do to automate? So I want to show you the solution to scalability in your marketing. And this is where we go into the 4th step of what I call the event launch blueprint, which goes into automated webinars. Cha-ching, pa-pow, the evergreen funnel for sales while you sleep. This is it. This is it. This is recurring revenue model, okay? So finally, turn what was once live into a consistent, evergreen, and profitable event funnel. So you basically take a live webinar, toggle it to evergreen, and with EasyWebinar, you can toggle it to automated, right? And take this previous live session, have it as your evergreen webinar, and all of the assets that you already built for your live webinar are now used as your evergreen webinar. That's the cool thing about EasyWebinar, is that all of the emails that you've built out for your live webinar, the follow-up emails, the replay page, if you've created a live webinar experience using EasyWebinar, it's super easy now to take that, toggle it over to automated, and now drive traffic to it, drive affiliate sales to it, so on and so forth, and scale up and up and up and up and up. Find more time in your life from that point, okay? It's all doable. And it's leveraging automated webinars. And again, what is an automated or evergreen webinar? I think you guys understand how this all works, right? Drew is saying live webinars are draining mentally. Then multiple pay options last night, yeah. An automated webinar is a like live environment that allows you to run your business while your ability to generate leads and sales continues without you, okay? That's the power of it, right? And here's the thing you need to know about our system in automated webinars. An automated webinar is a pre-recorded video streamed in real time. And the awesome thing about an automated webinar is that you can create it once and it can work for you over and over again. This is how people, when someone says, I have a 6-figure, 7-figure webinar, it's not like they're talking about one time, one webinar, they generate $1 million. Now, Drew is talking about someone who's doing this, but more often than not, when someone says that, they are leveraging the full-blown experience and leveraging one webinar to maybe sell $1 million in the year, or $2 million, $3 million in the year, or 300, 500,000, over the year. Drew is saying he does via JVs. I may know who he is. What's his name, Drew? Why don't you put it in? The awesome thing about, so an automated webinar can be scheduled in your attendees' time zone. So if you have a worldwide audience, that means you get more leads and sales. Okay, so that's another thing. A lot of times, if you're doing a live webinar for someone in China, or if you have an audience in Australia or New Zealand, then oftentimes those guys, they are missing your webinars because you're running it maybe in the States at a specific time, or vice versa. The powerful thing about streaming the webinar in your attendees' local time zone, like our system can, is that now it's more convenient for those people. They experience it in their own time zone with the look and feel of live. Automated webinars can allow you to create your perfect presentation and a full-blown successful funnel built around engagement. And a good automated system, such as EasyWebinar, can stream an event in real time with that experience of live, okay? Because that's what it is. It's actually streamed in real time. And it's streamed from your phone in real time. You know, the experience just feels real fluid. And they are way more valuable. And I get this all the time. What's the difference between an automated webinar and a replay? The replay doesn't have the same commitment level as a webinar that someone registers for, has to show up for. So the webinar inherently has a higher commitment, a higher perception of value, and that's why someone shows up, right? Does that make sense? So that's the power of an automated webinar. And it's my secret sauce for basically all of my sales funnels. And the majority of how we do it is we drive Facebook traffic or ad traffic to an automated webinar. And it's simple. There's two funnels that we focus on. High ticket coaching funnels, which sends people to a strategy call selling $3,000 or more dollars, or a direct sale webinar selling $97 all the way up to $2,000 to $3,000, right? And it's sending traffic directly from paid ads into this webinar funnel. It's real simple. These are the two events that most of our clients are using. Now, some of our clients just use EasyWebinar as a fulfillment tool, as you know, for a support system. Some of them use EasyWebinar for free webinars without selling. But again, the majority of people that are actually generating high revenue are using these two types of funnels. And this is kind of something that I teach, of course. And I love the high ticket funnel. This is our high ticket funnel. We have our own, and we teach this to our coaching clients. But promo ad to automate a webinar. This is showing EasyWebinar's registration pages. The thank you page. This is all of what EasyWebinar builds, by the way. Registration page, thank you page, countdown to page, event page. The application, no, and the strategy call, no. Those are using other tools like Typeform for your application and Calendly for your calendar link, right? But you can add a link straight away from your event page, into the application, right? And so this is leveraging the power of EasyWebinar, and this is one of the top funnels that our clients are using. As an example, here's David Ortiz, who did this. He was actually a client who used EasyWebinar. Facebook ad was a video sent to a registration page that he built with EasyWebinar, customized it because you can do that with EasyWebinar, and sent people directly from the webinar into a strategy call. And this is what he wrote after we had this ad on for 9 days, right? And we showed him how to do all this, and we built the ad for him and stuff like that from our coaching program. So it says, gentlemen, we have hit a home run. I had my first call with a webinar participant today, and it went so well. He has over 2 million in assets. He loved the way I branded and marketed my services, thought the ad and the webinar were very well done, and I'm sure he's going to sign up with me. I'm now going to do his risk profile and match his portfolio for him. Thank you for taking my vision and making it a reality. Now, this is exactly the power of these funnels, right? They are in different industries, very specific industries. They are not done. They are not done. And you can rise above your industry, rise above your niche in the most effective way because of it. So when someone was asking me what kind of different industries, here's an example. Here's one of the highest regulated industries, and it's still extremely effective in a high regulation industry. He actually had to get permission to do it, and he got permission. And even with some of the things that he could not reveal in the funnel, he still was able to close this $2 million. Initially, this person that he now manages that person's asset and several others at $2 million just from this funnel. And that's like a $15,000 to $20,000 recurring revenue every year for him. Here's Stacy Shillington, who is a skincare expert. I was telling you that you can sell courses that are under $1,000. She was selling her product at $297, did about $15,000 a month. But she came into my coaching program, started selling her coaching program for $3,000 a piece. Okay, adding in 5 figures a month. So it's doable that you can have both. She's a great example of having low ticket, selling off a webinar, and selling a high ticket strategy call from a webinar as well, right? And so you can do both. Here's Janelle. She actually gave us data as to how many people filled out applications and things like that. So she had 435 people. By the way, Janelle is a branding expert. She sells courses and programs. She got into my my 6-week fast track coaching program because she was doing a lot of launch stuff and she's getting a little burnt out. So here's the thing. She had 435. So she wanted to have a higher ticket program. She could work less, but give more attention to people. But at the same time, create scalability with a high ticket. So 435 people signed up for a webinar. 99 showed up. Not that great of attendance, but that's okay because 16 filled out the application. They talked to 7 so far. 3 signed up. 2 get paid on Friday, so they'll see. So basically, they had 16 applications. Talked with 7 people. Out of the 7 people that they had already talked to, 5 funded or will fund. That's 70% close ratio. And like that's the type of thing you can do from a webinar because the webinar is intended to qualify your audience, right? That's the power of an automated webinar when you're talking about selling high ticket is that these are all points of they're all qualifiers, help to qualify the audience, making sure you get the right people in, right? And here's what it looks like when you sell directly from a webinar. It's not much difference. You get from paid ads, you send to a webinar sign-up page, give them a presentation, sell a quality product, and you make sales. And that is the flow. And the flow for basically a live selling from your program. Selling your program from the webinar. And if you wonder if automated webinars actually do work, I'd like to share this because this is a article. There was an article done by Segmetrics on John Lee Dumas, who is a user and has been a user since literally 2015 of EasyWebinar. They in 2015 when they did this article, they found that the people that came through the automated webinar were 243% more valuable than the people who did not. Meaning that the value of that lead was $81 compared to some of the other leads who were valued 243% less than that. So what does that actually mean? That means that when people come through an automated webinar or a webinar experience, they are so much more apt to buy, right? Now, whether they bought off the webinar or they came to the webinar first, watched some other stuff, and then bought, that's how this all works. So it's even if you don't make a sale directly from a webinar, right? Even if you don't make a sale directly from a webinar, having someone come through that webinar experience creates that deeper connection with them. Does this make sense? So this stuff does in fact work. And that's what John Lee Dumas. So he had a problem. He was doing 1.5 million in live webinars in 1 year, right? But he was getting burnt out. People weren't buying off of his any other time until we built out an automated webinar for him. And after we did that, this is what it looked like. He started generating I remember first like week he did $16,000 in sales. And his was what we created an organic auto webinar podcasting funnel where basically he had a free podcast course. And inside of, and let me know, is this helpful to see different funnels and what people are doing with automated webinars? I just want to make sure that you guys are still here, checked in, splash some water on your face. But if this is valuable to you, just let me know. I just want to make sure. Kimberly, yes, Drew, thank you guys so much. Okay, good. Helpful. Thank you, William. Yes. Love case studies. Cool, Drew. Cool. So every single one, he had like 20 episodes in this, what's known as a free podcast course that promoted his podcast program, right? So he created 10 to 20 episodes here. Every single one of the episodes promoted the workshop, the webinar. Okay. And he always said, hey, when you get on, you can also sign up online. So he was getting them into signing up for the podcast, the free podcast program or course. He was getting them to sign up for the webinar as well. And inside of all the emails, when he would send maybe a new video on a weekly, on a like a daily basis, he would also give them the option of signing up for the webinar that was more of a long form content experience, so that they could register through that webinar as well. And so this is kind of what's known as cross pollination. So he had like a like 10 email sequence that would send a short video of something to do in a podcast. In that email, there would always be a link to come to the automated webinar. And most of the time, that automated webinar is the thing that people bought off of. That's what we've noticed in Segmetrics, or the Segmetrics article, as well as his own data. And so they would come from that. They'd register for the webinar. Here's the thank you page right in the middle, right here, right? So they'd register right down here, okay, at the bottom on the left. They'd come to the thank you page, and it was John right in front of his camera. And he made the offer available right away through, because it was an automated webinar. He pushed that offer right away, and it made sales. And it supplemented his revenue. He only had to do 1 live webinar per month at that point instead of 4, because it was making enough money for him to step away. Here's Dale Partridge, who used our system as well. No joke on the subject line, already made $16,000 in 10 days using this strategy, is what he told me. So after 10 days, he emailed me. This is using EasyWebinar's pages, by the way. He was able to customize this look and feel. He added the video, and this is these are our boxes. But this is hosted with EasyWebinar, by the way, like all done with EasyWebinar. You don't have to have any other sales pages or anything else. You don't need to use any third-party page builder. You can use EasyWebinar's built-in pages. He sent that after 10 days. And then after 30 days, he said, made almost $100,000 so far with EasyWebinar. Pretty cool stuff. So this is definitely possible. And, the problem is that we try so many different things online, from, blogging to posting daily on WordPress, to making YouTube videos, to posting on Twitter and LinkedIn, and creating a podcast and doing all sorts of things. And we're so busy, right? We create so much busy work in our business, and we think that that's actually creating real effect. And oftentimes it's just busy work. In fact, instead of doing something like that, what I like to focus on is streamline your system and process. Add to webinar, close sales, make sales, and then get results for your clients. I mean, that's really the bottom line. And that's like why I like high ticket. It's faster to create. Oftentimes for high ticket, you do shorter webinars. We've seen webinars that are only 20 minutes long in a high ticket flow that promotes getting on a strategy call. And those are super effective. And they have more high touch response as well. And here's the problem here's what I see. And this is why I'm biased, and feel very strongly about high ticket and creating experiential programs. When you're just selling a course, or just selling, more information, and, and you're just kind of doing what everyone else is doing, people see the information, they get excited about the information, but then they don't take action, right? And I see this happening all the time. So what I like to focus on is transformation. You promote transformation that encourages enlightenment. And from enlightenment, people take massive action. So that's why I like high ticket. This is my own 2 cents of what I feel personally. We sell courses as well, but I love high ticket because I feel like you can get more done. If you're starting out, you can have, it's a fastest way to get to the highest revenue numbers you're looking for, right? While at the same time giving you time back, right? And so that's what I'm all about. That's what my coaching program is all about, basically. And so that's what I love. And it's a simplified process, right? Traffic from ads to the webinar to the presentation, and you close premium clients, right? Simplicity equals ROI sales, and that's greater than the investment that you're spending in ads. Okay. And that's the other thing that we kind of go into. And Drew, thank you, says high ticket or die, information is dead, transformation. So imagine being able to earn 50,000 a month consistently, month after month, without having to do more work. What would that do for your life? Just help me with a visualization. What would that actually do for your life if you could generate $50,000 a month using stuff like this, right? Creating an actual flowing business, and show up maybe once a week for a coaching session, group coaching session. What would that do for your life? How much would you be buying more cars, buying a house, spending more time with your family? What would you be doing in that scenario? Please go ahead and put that in the chat if you can. And the thing that I always like to say is, well, how do you do this? It sounds nice, Casey, that you're saying, yeah, I can make $50,000 a month, but how can I actually do that? And EasyWebinar is the tool that's going to get you there. EasyWebinar is the tool that's going to get you there. It was designed for that reason. It was designed for that reason because I needed a tool that would get me there. I needed a tool that would allow me to scale up. So because, I have 3 kids, my 2 sons I adopted from Haiti, and they've been home for over a year. And I would not be able to function if I didn't have automation in my back pocket for my business, right? I'd be so screwed basically, because I would have a really tough time. The thing that I really appreciate though is I started off as someone who has always loved video. And so that love of video has merged into keeping engaged and taking that and moving it into a program, a product, a software that leverages that on a higher level, right? And leverages live webinars as well. EasyWebinar started off as an automated webinar tool, and it migrated into being both a live webinar technology and automated, basically automated webinar funnel building tool, a sales tool, right? And so it's really cool that it's turned into that. Everything is hosted on EasyWebinar. Build, invest time in other businesses, ideas, and ventures is what William would do if he had that money. That's awesome. That's awesome. If you were generating that number of sales, because you have to invest in your business, right? And then maybe invest in the business as to how to scale up from 50,000 to 100,000 or 150,000. William says he'd also spend more time with his family. That's me too. That's me. That's me exactly. And so, if you don't already know, EasyWebinar is an all-in-one webinar and event suite that does both live and automated webinars, okay, events. And it basically creates all 6 pages of what is known as a funnel, okay? But as I said, more experiential funnel. From registration page to, it creates thank you pages, right? Where you can have a video and you can have calendar links and social share incentives and things like that. A countdown page where it can count down before the webinar starts. You can have a video on that countdown page. You can even have maybe a one-time offer on that countdown page. Then people come to the webinar. It's this experience. You have offers that can show up in real time, chat that's there for live, question box for your automated webinar. And from the automated webinar, you have emails are going out from EasyWebinar basically, right? We have all the emails, notifications, all done with EasyWebinar. Then you go to a replay page. The replay page can be a different video. So you can actually put either the duplicate of what your webinar was, or put a different video in there, right? Like a different Vimeo video, YouTube video, Wistia video. It could be shorter. It could be anything. You can have a countdown timer added to it. The EasyWebinar has built-in countdown timers that could be based on date-based or evergreen. So you can have it for whenever someone comes in, it can expire 3 days later in their local time zone. So it's really cool. So scarcity is an actual thing here. It's not just false scarcity, it's actual true scarcity, because then you can have them redirect from the page into like a offer is over page. Very cool stuff. So we give you all the pieces of what a funnel is, but we do it around webinar, the webinar experience, right? So as I said, you go in, you create your title for your webinar. You choose if you want to go live or automated. You choose if you want to do it as a recurring event or a one-time event, and you're off to the races. We have a lot of other scheduling options that are available. I won't get into it all of right now, but there's some really cool stuff you can do with EasyWebinar. Then you build out the registration page. It's super simple. You can have a video, as I said, call to action buttons, etc., etc. You can customize the theme as well. Then you can send out the thank you page. And on the thank you page, again, you can have a video. It will show the, excuse me, calendar icons. They can immediately add the webinar to the calendar. The emails will also go out with a calendar link in there as well. So you can also have what's known as a share incentive. Basically, you can share, you can have them, if they share news of the event to Facebook or Twitter, you can unlock a free gift. And it could be a PDF or a video. And we've noticed that this brings an additional 10 to 15% of viral traffic. It's super cool stuff. So it's one of those things that with EasyWebinar you can do. It's one of our, people love to use that. The event page for a live webinar, you don't have to worry about it. You can create your offers ahead of time and just show up to the webinar. For an automated webinar, you can upload a video. You can add a YouTube video, Wistia video, add a Vimeo video, or select from a previous live session and just pop that right into an automated webinar. Super simple, super easy to do. And then, you know, all the emails are built with EasyWebinar. So before event notifications, the after event notifications, you can build out nice, you know, campaigns with EasyWebinar basically, or you can link your email to the outside, to your CRM systems, right? So you can have the follow-up emails done from ConvertKit, Drip, Infusionsoft, Entreport, iContact, GetResponse, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, Aweber, or basically any other system, because we have a Zapier integration as well, right? Very cool. You can also connect your webinar to the outside world. So SEO settings, you can have it found in Google. You can change the URL name. You can have different things on the countdown page, social meta tags. You can have images for Facebook. So when you post the link inside Facebook or inside of Twitter, it's going to pull in the data that you want to pull in, right? So we've really thought about everything in this regard here. And then, of course, you could start seeing amazing results with our analytics, because here's the cool thing about EasyWebinar. We show you actions. We don't just show you who showed up, you know, who registered, who showed, who watched the replay, but we actually share with you actions. So who clicked a button, who clicked on a PDF or an offer, right? Or who didn't click on a PDF or offer. These are things you could do with our system to segment people out and have follow-up emails going out to those people based on the actions performed. So it's really intuitive. This is exactly what a funnel is that you kind of want. Can you run different webinars and A/B tests? You can run as many webinars as you want. You can clone a webinar and test out different pages and cross-reference that and see which one works the best. So we don't have a traditional A to B in the sense that, you know, it's going to be from the same traffic. No, it's not the same traffic source. It would be two different sources and or, you know, testing them out at two different times and see what works one week versus another week. So you can do it, but we don't have it actually from the same source. And the idea is that EasyWebinar is designed to do three things, right? Number one, get you more customers. Number two, keep the customers you have. And number three, save you time and ultimately money. All right. And what we mean by, and yes, you can add pixels to the pages. I completely forgot about that. You can add Facebook pixels to all the pages for your Facebook traffic, Google Analytics, get proof, get more proof type of thing, right? You can add all these things in to the pages themselves. For getting customers, you run live or evergreen marketing webinars that build a know, like, and trust that do the selling for you, okay? For keeping the customers you have by using evergreen webinars or live webinars for onboarding your new clients, customers, and employees. That's crazy. Webinar Ninja does not allow pixels. That's nuts. How can people actually have funnels built if you don't have pixels? It doesn't make any sense to me. We run Facebook traffic to our webinars. Our customers, security risk. That's weird. Our customers, they run thousands of leads a month through Facebook. We need to be able to have that for ourselves and them, as well as, you know, there's some people that we've heard from Webinar Jam users that Webinar Jam, you can't re-register for a webinar that you've already registered for. And that's not a problem with ours, because we in fact encourage what we call a re-register campaign, where if someone registers and no shows, then we encourage them to re-register, right? And they can, and they can basically come through the funnel again, right? And so that's a lot of what we teach in our coaching, how to do that. We push out funnels for our clients as well, built-in funnels that we've already pre-done. So, and that's what Drew's saying, EW 10 times better than all the rest. I appreciate you saying that. And number 3, save you time and ultimately money by going beyond the 1-to-many ratio of marketing that a live webinar allows and entering into the evergreen webinars that ultimately duplicate your success over and over again without you having to be there, right? That's the power of it. Here's Rick Mulready, who used Facebook and EasyWebinar to make 166% return on investment, allowing him to scale up his marketing on autopilot. He said one of the biggest wins this year is using Facebook ads to EasyWebinar. Your team is awesome. If there is or when there's an issue, you guys are right on top of it. I couldn't be happier. What else? This is basically highlighting exactly what EasyWebinar is, right? We have a built-in template library, registration page, thank you page, event page, replay pages, live, HD webinars using our live engine. You can syndicate your live webinars to Facebook Live or YouTube Live using our EasyCast technology. Of course, we have automated webinars. Everything is fully hosted on the cloud with us, full analytic platform, reminder notifications, one-click signups that you can send through your email. So you don't have to have people come to a page and register. You can have a one-click registration link. They click on it, auto-registers them, right? Advanced APIs with some of the top email systems and CRMs out there, Zapier integration, advanced automated scheduling. The EasyWebinar is the only platform that has a great live and evergreen. Most only do just one, is what Drew is saying. Thank you so much for saying that, Drew. Here's Bob Proctor, who uses EasyWebinar, and I want to share this because it's an interesting way that he's using it. Basically, consider using automated webinars as your program that you sell. Okay, so he actually he brings people to a sales page, and on the sales page he sells for $97 a masterclass. They pay for it. In the email, he sends a one-click registration link through his email, right? That auto registration link from EasyWebinar, so that when they sign up to it, they come to this masterclass that he's made them pay for. And from the masterclass, he then upsells them into another coaching level, right? So he brings them into a bigger coaching program even from there. But he qualifies them by having them pay low ticket for a masterclass right out of the gate. And you can do this with EasyWebinar. You can actually have this as a front end, right? A lower ticket product that leads into a higher ticket product, all done using EasyWebinar. Pretty cool stuff. I don't know. Here's Jay Shetty. I wonder if Proctor split tests with free. I'm not sure. That's a good question, Drew. Here's Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty he's doing several live launches using evergreen elements. So every so often, every like quarter, he is sending a blast of about 300,000 leads through EasyWebinar in a short burst of time. So 5 to 10 days, he's sending 300,000 leads into EasyWebinar's evergreen platform, right? He's not sending them to a live webinar. He's sending them in to stream in their local time zone. Okay. And he has all the pieces set up with EasyWebinar and Infusionsoft. And basically he's selling into a recurring revenue model. I've been told that they have like 12,000 customers now, all run through EasyWebinar. And it's pretty cool stuff. And you can see what this would look like on the mobile. That's what it looks like inside of EasyWebinar right there. You can say jshetty.easywebinar.live. And I got permission and grabbed stuff off of their account, so you could see the registered, watched, etc. Now, truth be told, they didn't actually have the EasyWebinar replay page set up, so that's why those replays aren't as high. But we check the actions based on the watched page. After they implemented the replay, now it's much higher, but that's before I did that. Scott Fisher is saying, is there a one-click registration in email that allows to select from 3 to 5 timeframes for their availability to match with few times that we have scheduled availability for ourselves? So, Scott, the answer is no. It's going to be the next available time that you've selected, but it's intuitive. So if you have a 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m., and someone shows up at 1 p.m., they're going to be registered for the 2 p.m. right away. If they show up at 5 p.m., they're going to register for the 7 p.m. right away. Okay. So it's intuitive. We don't give them the options from the one click. Okay. We just give them it's just the one click, right? And a lot of our customers will do maybe one webinar a week using automated webinars, but many of them do the daily sessions, right? Or they'll block by one day. So someone comes to the registration page, and then they'll set up 3 multiple times for the next day. But for one-click registration, it's going to be the next available session based on when they click on it. Okay, does that make sense? Cool. And a lot of people wonder, can this be used in different niches? The answer is heck yes. We have a religious niche. We have Joshua Wagner, who is using EasyWebinar basically to build the backbone of his business, which was getting people into a congregation. And he was using EasyWebinar as a tool to get people into his congregation. So it's a really interesting thing that you can use this in different niches. Here on the left is Terry Hunter. I grabbed this snippet from a webinar I did where he said, I had the thrill of a homeowner that had a $1 million, dollar value, $1 million range, read my book, went to my 15-minute easy webinar, then to the calendar link, which took them into a 1 hour, 9-minute phone call. Yay. So this is how he did it. He created a little ebook, put it out there, right? Put out the ebook. On the back of the ebook and on every page, it was like, join me for this, 15-minute, streamed workshop. They sign up. From there, they sign up to get on his calendar. And from there, he almost closed these guys. He said he's still working on it, but they also referred him to their neighbor for a $1.9 million home. So this does work, you guys. This does work as a recruiting tool in any different industry, okay? Any industry. Drew says, I know a cosmetic surgeon who's killing it with live webinars, right? And here's just a few other people. Mark Hubert said, you guys rock. You are always adding new functionality. Love EasyWebinar. Just ran my first auto webinar last week, made $8,000. Best auto platform I've used. Here's Brian saying, not a question, but I'm a fan of EasyWebinar. We have our first live webinar tomorrow and Friday, and we're using EasyWebinar. So far, it's been amazing. One-stop shop for everything, from building the landing page, registration pages, pre and post email sequences, including putting a replay page in the first post-webinar email, and being able to share our offer within the live webinar with a countdown. That's something that is also something EasyWebinar can do. A lot of people don't even realize that. Also, Jim at EasyWebinar has been great for answering all of our questions and concerns. And here's Tanya Eliza, who runs two very successful automated webinars that are through our system. She's generating a good amount of money, probably $200,000 in revenue per month from that experience. Here's Brad Travers, who said, I got EasyWebinar on Sunday, watched the tutorial, set up my first webinar, and boom, $15.79 in sales for a 1-hour Webby. Easy to use, great functionality. I had no issues. Thank you for the quick response from Casey in the Facebook group to make it as simple as possible to run. And these are just things that we see a lot. Casey, I just want to let you know I've made $107,000 since last August using EasyWebinar. Here's a couple other ones that I like to focus on. This guy at the top is using EasyWebinar to contribute to about 90% of his income. So we know that people are using EasyWebinar as the majority of how they're generating revenue, and we don't take that lightly. He's making $20,000 a month without fail. Here's Lisa at the bottom. Looking forward to my next successful webinar with EasyWebinar. I'm so glad I bought the software. It's made my life so much easier, and I'm really starting to enjoy hosting my training webinars. Next step, automated webinars. And that's how I want you to start. I want you to dive into live webinars and just have fun with it. Here's April and Eric Perry to the right. Casey has changed our lives. We are doing 2 to 3 live webinars a week with a family and job. I was tired. With your automated system in place, we have freedom and sales coming in constantly. Thank you, Casey. Bozidar saying, 30 days after Casey's coaching, I doubled my sales from one strategy he gave me. He said, I enjoyed Casey's skill as a coach. I was in Bali. I actually look forward to getting up at 4:45 to learn what Casey had to teach for the day. Now, he was in our coaching program, and the thing that he's talking about, which doubled his sales, was what I shared with you earlier, the rebroadcast method. So I'm just sharing that with you. That's something I taught in a coaching, but I'm sharing that with you today, okay? So hopefully that's something that if you want to go out and implement, do it, please. Here's Amanda Bucci, who's using our system. Kimra Luna, Casey's EasyWebinar software helped me run 50 successful webinars. He genuinely cares about the results of his community and consistently stepping up the game to make his own software the best out there. On those webinars, I was able to grow my email list and bank account quickly. Here's Corey. I'm just sharing with you how it's possible for many people. In fact, here is my designer. This is the person who did my designed our website. He did $2,000 in sales when he started using our system. And it was just really great to see people where they've never done any revenue and starting to generate. Here's Alana Cavalia. She has an online yoga certification program, and she first started generating $10,000 a month with EasyWebinar. Months later, she did $50,000, and now she's at pushing $100,000 a month using EasyWebinar and using Facebook traffic. So she gets cost per customer down to about $100, and she sells it for $1,500. Okay, so she's making her money. She's making her money back now, which is awesome. Here's Amy Porterfield. She uses EasyWebinar, has 3 funnels running through EasyWebinar that generate several $1,000,000 a year. And she leverages our what is known as our registration widget. You see this thing on the bottom? This is our widget. So it's a light box that can be put on any third-party page. So if you're someone who wants to use Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, or any other page, Optimized Press, or any other Unbounce, any page at all, you can add this pop-up registration box and use either your own thank you page or EasyWebinar's thank you page. That's another thing we allow you to do. It's pretty cool. Again, there's so many people that have had great success with EasyWebinar. Jeremy Bellotti used our system to funnel in high quality, ready to go clients. He was a model to his clients because he not only used his funnel method, but then he charged his clients in excess of $10K to build out these same webinar funnels. So he became a webinar funnel builder, basically. And he brought in $20K in 2 days from only 15 calls. He had a close ratio of 35% in just 2 days. And he's using basically EasyWebinar to do it. He said, I was watching what you were doing for a while, Casey, and realized that fitness brands needed automated webinar workshops to build that one-on-one engagement on autopilot. Since adding this into our toolkit, we have seen our client retention increase by 3 times. It's easier to negotiate a higher price package when you tell them it's going to position them on a recurring automated basis that can continue to make them money. And so what he was doing basically is he became a webinar builder, basically, right? And so if someone is interested in doing something like that, the coaching, the 6-week fast track is perfect for it. So if you are someone who actually wants to, if you're a marketing expert and you want to roll in webinars into your book of business, the fast track program is probably the perfect thing to do. But here's my final thoughts. The best time to do a webinar sales funnel is right now, okay? And the best tool is EasyWebinar. Okay. So I want to pivot. I want to talk about the investment for those of you who are here who are not EasyWebinar clients and customers. Before you start heading over to buying EasyWebinar, I have a really amazing opportunity and offer for you that you can't get anywhere else. It's only from the webinar. So let me share this with you. Okay. We first off initially decided that an investment of $2,000 paid annually was fair for our Pro account, which is basically 500 attendees using our live engine, unlimited attendees using YouTube Live, and basically running unlimited evergreen webinars. Okay. And it also included our Facebook live stream tool, YouTube live stream tool. Basically, the Pro account has everything you're going to want in EasyWebinar. The standard account of EasyWebinar doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It has most of them, but not all of it, especially that EasyCast tool that allows you to syndicate the live webinar to Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Now, when we were talking about this, we saw that just one live event with 30 attendees selling 1K product run through EasyWebinar could easily recoup your investment and more. Considering I also just shared with you how you could do that using the event launch blueprint and EasyWebinar, right? That is with that 10% conversion rate. Now, I also showed you how to increase your conversion rate using the rebroadcast and the replay scenario, right? Do you guys remember that? Yeah? If you guys remember that, put a thumbs up. Or if you have, let's say, one evergreen webinar running and selling your courses, product coaching services, that could be your main source of revenue, just like John above, who is doing 20K a month, and EasyWebinars is contributing to about 90% of his income, right? Again, we don't take that lightly. That's a big responsibility on us, and that's why our software stays super stable and ready for anyone. Especially considering that other software like GoToWebinar, which only does live events and replay, charges $23.88 for their 500 attendee package, and it only does live webinars. It doesn't have live or evergreen or expiring replay pages. That's $2,300 for GoToWebinar, basically, for the same package, right? But it doesn't, but they don't have all the other stuff. That's just for their live. But then we thought we not only wanted to have a better feature set for marketing your business by creating awesome live and evergreen webinar funnels, but we also realized we wanted to do it at a fraction of the price. So instead of $2,000 a year, which is still less than GoToWebinar, we thought to drop it even more to $129 a month, which paid yearly is $1548. Drew just said GoToWebinar has replay, but it sucks. That's exactly right. Now, this includes all of what you get: 500 live attendees with EasyWebinar, unlimited webinar attendees using Live Engine, et cetera, push button offers, live chat, public and private, 4 co-host presenter functionality where you can have 4 people in the room, very much like a roundtable discussion, email hosting, responsive, customizable, high converting webinar pages, analytics, CRM integrations, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, stream syndicating tool, time replay pages, 30-day onboarding training. This is all a part of what EasyWebinar has included in this program, basically, right? But then we decided to do one better and drop the investment down for the yearly bundle to only not $1,500 plus, but $1,080 a year, which gets you basically all of that. Okay, $1,080 a year gets you the entire system of EasyWebinar, all the features of EasyWebinar, everything that you would want in a webinar tool. You don't need other webinar systems. You don't need even other page builder tools. You don't even need an email list to be, or an email system to be able to succeed with EasyWebinar. Okay, you don't need any of that other stuff, which is crazy. That's crazy to realize that. Like, you only need one tool, right? And so I just broadcasted the offer. Yes, Michael, so you can either do monthly or yearly. I bought EasyWebinar. Yes, that's right. Monthly or yearly, basically. And here's the thing. You can buy, here, I'm going to do my big reveal, okay? So you can get whichever package you want, but I have bonuses that are available, and I'm rewarding my people that are going to pay the annual level ahead of time. Okay, here's what's going to be. Okay, now, as I said, this is what the pricing looks like for the pro level. Okay, but before you go running off to get it, we have a special opportunity. Okay, here's what it is. Okay, I know you're probably like, tell me what it is. Okay, I have thousands of dollars of bonuses to give you when you pick up EasyWebinar at any level. Okay, right now, I'm going to give you, but wait, before you do that, you need to know something. So bonuses, I'm going to give you an online live class. It's automated high ticket coaching webinar funnel training. Okay, this is a coaching that will show you and teach you the breakdown of the high ticket funnel. Automated course or product sales webinar funnel. I'm going to show you the breakdown of selling a product from a webinar, right? The type of like from the what we've seen for the scheduling to work the best, et cetera, what the pages need to have on it, right? Things like that. I'm also going to be giving you the 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar training as well. Okay, and this is going to show you the framework of the 6 steps to basically creating a high ticket or basically a high converting sales webinar. So all of this is when you pick up any level of EasyWebinar, annual or monthly. But before you go and do that, you need to know this. right? So that's any of these. So you come in, if you get the standard or the pro or the enterprise, whatever you get, whether it's monthly or yearly, you can get these bonuses. Okay. These bonuses are going to be available to you. But here's a bonus that you can't get anywhere else. And this is where you should be like really paying attention, because I have a fast action bonus while you're here on this webinar. It's getting access. It's getting it, and I don't normally do this, but it's giving access basically to the complete webinar learning system on how to kill it with webinars and EasyWebinar. This is my Elite Webinar Mastery program. This program sells for $2,000, okay, on its own. This is not just the foundation. Elite Webinar Mastery has 4 core modules for it, right? Because here's the thing: this system, the Elite Webinar Mastery program, is a strategy for scalability. It's an A to Z, soup to nuts webinar training system, right? In EasyWebinar, you're going to get a 30-day onboarding that's going to show you how to use the software. But this program goes into more detail on strategy. And it's broken down like this. There are 4 core modules that each have like 10 to 15 videos inside them, homework assignments, assets that you can get. Really, it's there to make sure you get webinars going fast. The foundation program, of course, we sell that one for $300 on its own. And truth be told, it's a bonus when you come in and get the standard at the annual and all the other ones. But as I said, when you pick up Pro Annual right now and go right to the easywebinar.com/pricing page, you get Pro Annual. You send me a message, send us a message to the help desk. Okay, say I just bought, I want the bonuses, I bought the annual. Well, we're going to send you access to Elite Webinar Mastery. Because we don't do this for everyone, you have to put it in the help desk and say, listen, I did this. I want to get access to this program. There's a pre-webinar phase, going live phase, post-webinar phase. Okay, all of this is valued at about $51.88 for this. We also have supplemental training like how to get JVs, how to hire a team, how to scale up. So many wonderful things with our supplemental training. That's valued at $10,000. We have swipe files, right? We have pre-done templates, email swipe files that you can use. We also have group coaching sessions, office hours that are pre-recorded. You also get access to my paid coaching Facebook group as well, where you can be a fly on the wall for some of our 6-week fast track sessions. Okay, so I do group coaching with my 6-week fast track people. You're going to be coming into some of those once a month or twice a month. You get access to those, and you can come in and listen and be a part of it. And you can gain so much insight from it. So this is what this total bonus package with EasyWebinar right now is valued at $5,000. You get Elite Webinar Mastery, the full program. We typically sell at $2,000. The 3 classes that are $1,000, $1,000, and $1,000 basically, right? Which totals about $5,000 in bonuses. All you have to do is go to easywebinar.com/pricing, or you can actually see the offer is pushed here, and you can basically send us a receipt. You can go to sales@easywebinar.com, send us a receipt. You can also go into the help desk. Once you log into EasyWebinar, the help desk is you're going to see a live chat. You can push your receipt and say, I was on the webinar with Casey. I want to get access right now. And so those are the things that you could do with EasyWebinar right now. You have 13 minutes basically to come through to pick that up. And what I want to do is answer any questions you may have. Jason said, can we request integrations with autoresponders that aren't currently included? Yes. The other thing is we have Zapier. So Zapier can really bridge that for a lot of those, but absolutely some of the ones that are coming out soon are HubSpot, Salesforce, and Marketo. If we already have the EasyWebinar, can we go through this module too? So if you are someone who's an EasyWebinar customer, but you want to get access to Elite Webinar Mastery, the program itself, let me know. Reach out, send a message to Casey@easywebinar.com. I can get you a special link to the Elite Webinar Mastery program. It's something I can give you access to, okay? But you have to email me. It's still a paid program though, right? It's what we're doing to incentivize people that are coming in right now and that are buying the pro level at $1080 a year, okay? So just be aware of that. Cool. Again, other questions? Do we have other questions that might be coming through? And by the way, do you see the offer link there which says yes, I am ready? And if you click on that, does that take you to the pricing page? I just want to be clear that it takes you guys directly to the pricing page. Okay, so Kimberly's saying I'm at my salon right now with a client, can't make a payment until I can get to my purse in the car in about an hour. Will that be too late to take advantage of this deal? So you know, what I was planning on doing was just to make this available during this webinar. If you reach out to me, yes. So should I send you a message after I log into my customer account? How can I take advantage? Yeah, so send the message to, if you're talking about wanting to get Elite Webinar Mastery, even though you have EasyWebinar, send a message to Casey@easywebinar.com. Okay. Should I send you a message after logging in my customer? Yeah. So, or if you are picking this up, if you guys are buying this, if you're doing it, get the pro account. You'll automatically be brought into EasyWebinar. Okay. You'll be brought into EasyWebinar right away. Okay. And let me just show you kind of how this would look, just so you are clear as to what's going to happen once you do this. Can more than one automated webinar run concurrently? 1,000%. Yes, absolutely. You can have hundreds of webinars running concurrently. You can we actually do have a reseller program as well. So if you have clients, you can actually buy many licenses and run tons of webinars for your clients as well. Looks like on your standard pack. If I upgrade to the pro level, but do so on the monthly plan. Okay, if you are an EasyWebinar customer and you bought, you can upgrade from standard to pro to take advantage of this special opportunity. You have to upgrade from standard to pro to get it, okay? From standard to pro. Inside your EasyWebinar system, let me just quickly flag this up and show you, okay? I'm gonna share my screen. All right, over here. Okay, inside EasyWebinar, you go to subscription right here, okay? You go to your subscription area right here, and you can get in and basically inside here, you can upgrade to pro. Let me know that you upgrade to pro, and I will send you those bonuses, okay? Where do you let me know? You can send a message to sales at easywebinar.com, or you can send a message right through here. You see this? This is our chat chat scenario. So you can actually create a new conversation, send in proof of receipt. Just take a screenshot of it. Doesn't take much. Just take a screenshot and say, I just bought Pro Annual on the webinar. I want all the bonuses that go with that. Or let them know, hey, I just bought Standard, but I want the other bonuses that go along with that. For that one, right? I know you were answering my question, but got bombarded with questions. Is there a time limit for me? I want to purchase. So based on that, if you are coming back in an hour, save the link. Yes, just send in a message and let us know. Yes. So I'm gonna allow you. Yes, I'm gonna say that you can still come in after an hour to take advantage of this. Okay, you can come in after an hour to take advantage of this. So I hope that helps. Yeah, make sense? Okay, so then this is the dashboard of EasyWebinar, guys. And as I said, remember, you can upload presentation files, PNG images, and things like that right from here. Very cool stuff that you can use that in your webinars. All of your recordings are going right here, right? So all of your recordings, you can download all of these, put them into a membership site. You can push them directly into automated webinars. And then your dashboard is going to be where you can go into creating a live webinar, automated webinar. You can go live on the fly just by clicking go live, and you don't have to schedule it. You could just go live on the fly. Boom, you're in the EasyWebinar room. And then even from there, you can push to Facebook Live and YouTube Live right away. So it's pretty cool stuff. I'm going to give you guys some more time to come through and pick up this offer. I'm going to, can you give me, I'm actually at home right now. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to turn my mic off, okay? And I'm going to have this up. And if you guys want to ask questions and still post stuff, I'm going to come back probably probably more like 12:15. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself and take off for a little bit, and I'm going to come back in. All right, and I'll see you in a little bit. But feel free to ask questions, and when I come back, I can answer them. This link is still up. You have 7 minutes to get it. I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, it's Casey. I am back. How are you? Truth be told, I'll tell you what I had to do. I have my baby. See? So I had to put her to bed. So my nanny took my other son to gymnastics, and I had to read my daughter a book and put her down for a nap. Because my office is, I have a office here, and then my house is that way. So I have separate office and house. But let me answer some of these questions that you came through from you guys. Kimberly Tillage is saying, "Thank you, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much. You're so welcome. Thank you." And Michael is saying, "Are the bonuses only available for the annual plan?" Let me remind you what bonuses are available. Let me do this again. We're gonna keep this. You know what? Here's the thing. What we're gonna do. I've told you guys. Now, right now, you see it's got a timer on it, but I'm going to go beyond that timer. Okay, so I've already said that it can be beyond that timer. So Michael, you can get the bonuses for the annual plan, which are all of those bonuses listed, right? Right. The basically the difference between getting the annual pro account and all the other accounts below it. So pro annual or enterprise monthly or enterprise annually, you get all these bonuses. For any package under pro annual, such as pro monthly, standard annual, standard monthly, you get 3 of the bonuses, which are the automated high ticket coaching webinar funnel training, automated course or product sales webinar funnel, the 6 steps to a high converting sales webinar. Those trainings, you don't get access to the full Elite Webinar Mastery Training Center, which is basically the A to Z step-by-step on how to dominate with webinars. That's my full program, right? If you go to the pricing page, so if we take a look at the pricing page here, you will see that we do have the Elite Webinar Mastery Foundation course, but it's only the foundation. Remember, the full program of Elite Webinar Mastery, here it is right here, is all four programs, right? All 4, right? And normally we'd make it available for enterprise folks, but right now we're making the full program available for pro accounts, but you have to pay the annual to be able to get it. Does that make sense? So you did not miss out on the bonuses, Christine. You could still get access right now. So you guys can come in still. And I see a handful of you guys still here. Drew, Leslie, Allen, Shauna, Kimberly, Michael, Melissa, William, Paul, Scott, Jason, Tim, Christine, the rest. You guys are still here. So feel free to come on through. Again, it's pricing. You go to the pricing page. You basically, here's how it works. You go in, it's already selected annual for you. Just click get started. Go through, fill out, create a sub user. This is going to be like, your name, right? And this is basically where everything is going to be streamed from your name. And this is something you can change later. Okay. So don't even worry about it. It's something that could be like Ted, hello. And you can change it later if you need to. It's not even a big deal. Okay. You go through the process of building it out. And as I said, once you do, you're going to be in the system right here. And you can send us a message directly here if you want to, or at sales@easywebinar.com. Send a, that, hey, I start a new conversation, say, I got the bonuses off of Casey's webinar, or I got the pro annual, and I like the bonuses that Casey mentioned on his webinar. That's all you have to say, and the guys will know what to do, okay? And that's pretty much it. And then, of course, you could start running your webinars. Again, We want you to go live right away. I mean, what I would even suggest, here's a challenge. Go live right away, click go live. And after you do, push the event into Facebook. Like do it while it's happening. Push it right into Facebook and say, hey, I just bought EasyWebinar. I'm just testing out the Facebook Live. I'm in here. I'm just playing around. I'm excited about this tool. I'm excited about what it can do. Just test it out. That's really what I encourage people to do. Get in there and realize that you could do so much with it. It bridges a connection. So go for it. Do it. All right, boys and girls. Sorry, I don't know why I said boys and girls. It's got children on my brain. But ladies and gentlemen, uh, um, dames and messieurs, thank you so much for the time. And I will of course talk to you very, very soon. Thanks again, and can't wait to see you on the inside of EasyWebinar. I'm going to leave this open again for a little bit, and I'm going to turn off the mic. And I'll just keep this going. You guys can still come in, get access to it, even while I'm not here. So thank you guys so much. Actually, before I go, though, I think what I'm going to do, well, no, here. Yep. I'll let you guys come in. You can still get access. So thank you again so much, you guys.